Hey guys, alright. I'm here at the front of the store picking up a part. It's for the truck, for my brother-in-law's Dodge truck 08 half ton. I'm picking up this 2 CV axle. This CV axle is not an original CV axle. It's the aftermarket one. And the nice thing about this CV axle, I never seen it before, is the nice thing about this is meant for lifted truck. So this truck that he have is I think it has a 3 or 4 inch leveling kit on it, so it's quite higher than the original stock pickup truck. So it has that 3 or 4 inch leveling kit, and this CV axle that I'm getting is meant for lifted truck. And it's really nice because there's a flex on the boot itself. There's a flex a lot longer than the OE CV axle, so that means that you won't tear the boot. There's no popping sound when you turn the wheel, and it's really meant for the truck with the leveling kit. So let's go inside and check it out. Alright guys, we're at the store, Auto Source parts store. This is where I get all my parts. You can tell with this COVID thing, you got a line here, the line up, and there's 3 customer inside. We just had to have 3 people inside at a time, so we're gonna have to wait. All right guys, there it is. There's a part number. There's a CV axle. Don't mind about my mess in my trunk. This is the bill. Each $170. That's not bad with my discount from work. Regular price is $293. So let's get to it. All right, so here's the new replacement one. Track Motive is the brand, and the special about this is this is for lifted truck, meant for lifted truck. Show you what's it look like. There you go, that's what it looked like. Okay, compared to the old one. So you can tell the boot on the inboard boot, closer to the front diff, has that extra flex. Outboard boot, it's more just the regular one. And there's that little thicker shaft right here, and this will slide more freely when the vehicle is turning left or right. It has that plunger style, because when the wheel turning left and right, this thing extend, and you don't want to rip those boots. And you can tell you're gonna have to pull this stub shaft off on the old one and then place it on the new one. And yeah, let's get to it. Alright guys, so take that stub shaft off. Just need a sledgehammer and a mini pry bar or anything flat. Just gonna gouge it right here and hit it with the hammer on the end of this pry bar. Make sure to put some penetrating fluid inside. Couple hits, big hits, this will pop out just like that. And then that will go in there. So make sure give it a little bit of a good clean. This smooth part right here, that's where the axle seal will ride into. So make sure those are clean, super clean, smooth. Because if you have something in here, bunch of rocks or something, or a little mud, you don't want that. It's gonna rip that rubber seal axle seal out, and you can have oil leaks. So just give a little wipe, and then that would go in here. Hit it with a sledge. Make sure it's seated right inside. Let's give a quick hit here. Like that. It's not gonna come off. Just a snap ring on the edge of that stub shaft. That's it. Just put it back together now. Alright guys, so before we put the new CV axle back in there, it's the best time to change that axle seal right on that transmission side over there. Change that, and then in my case, that axle seal is good. And let's put this axle shaft back in. So this side go in first, and followed by the other side where the hub is located. So this side goes in first, straight, give a little bit of wiggle, and push it in straight. Okay, go make sure it's straight and push it in. Snap like that. Double check, make sure all the way in. Yeah, it's all the way in. This is the edge of the CV axle. The stub shaft is inside, so it's good. It's perfect. That's what you want. And make sure when you slide this in, you don't want to damage the threads on the edge of this CV axle, so be careful. Slide it in into the hole, bend it a little bit, bend to the hole, and there you go. Put the outer tie rod on a hole on the knuckle. Keep sliding it in. And this is the time to raise up the lower control arm up again, so that the whole suspension will be level. And while it's level, the stub shaft will start coming out, and that's when you put the nut. That's good. Just like that. You see that stud coming out. So this thing came with a brand new nut. Use that new nut. Just hand tight so it won't pop out again. So that's it. Now we're gonna have to line up everything. Outer tie rods in. Let's put the upper ball joint back into the knuckle. Use pry bar on a spring, bring it up into the hole, just like that. Put the nut on the outer tie rod. And the nut on the upper ball joint. Don't forget about the wire. Let's do with that later. So that's it. We're gonna tighten them up. So the ball joint is gonna spin again. So make sure pry bar on the upper arm to push it down while you're tightening it up. And then the outer control arm. Sorry, outer rod, tighten up. Alright, so it's time to put the rotor back in and calipers. bracket. The two big bolts at the back. Alright guys, so after you torque the bolts on this caliper bracket to the knuckle, those two bolts. Alright, let's put this caliper back in now. Line it up. Just like that. Bolts on the top and bolts on the bottom. And then tighten them up and torque spec. Alright guys, so the final nuts or bolt that you need to torque is this axle nut or spindle nut. Torque all these bolts already, the outer tie rod, upper control arm ball joint, the caliper bracket, the knuckle bolt, the big bolts, and then the low one, the sliding pin bolts are all torque to spec. And this one right here is the main thing. This needs torque to 185 foot-pounds. So I got the ratchet, the torque wrench here, 185 dialed in, and let's get to it. So this should be spinning to the right, and make sure to put this pin on the top of the caliper. Sorry, on top of the rotor. So I should have been on the right side here, so it's easy for my back. So I'm gonna rotate. All right, here we go. 185 foot-pounds. It's better to turn the wheel on the right so that you have an angle here, because I got the mud flaps on my arm on the way when I turn this ratchet. So I'm gonna have to turn the wheel. 185 foot-pounds. That's good. Gonna have to double check, make sure we got everything done. Outer tie rod, upper ball joint, caliper bolts, all four. So on spec, ABS sensor, make sure it's all connected. CV axle. It's pretty stiff. I think that's it. So we're gonna have to put the tire back in. Lug nuts back in, torque to spec, and then gonna move on the other side. Exact the same thing, exact procedure. Alright, so if you like this video, you can subscribe. If you're new in this channel, if you're new in this video, you can subscribe to my channel, and we're gonna get more videos coming up. And make sure to hit that bell button and turn on the notification so that you will get instant video every time when I upload. I upload every twice or 3 times a week. Always get new videos. Could be from a Honda, Subaru, anything. So any automotive vehicle that needs work, that's what I do. So this is the last part, is just to put this axle, this wheel nuts back in, and then torque to spec, and then we're gonna move on to the passenger side. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.